4th pick from Newbee. Very good against all the heroes.
By the way, it does have to be said, even though I agree with Gods that this isn't necessarily locked in, but the core Leshrac is very, very good against Slark.
I mean, the thing is...
So that I think is part of the thought process.
You will never ban Nyx if you don't want to play a core Lesh.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the you ban Nyx to protect the core value of the Leshrac,
exactly.
and you don't have to worry about the Bloodseeker ban. Anyway.
Dragon Knight.
Okay. Yeah, this is where I'm not as much a fan of this. I think that they fell into this trap the last few weeks of putting SCCC on more Dragon Knights and Death Prophets. And
I don't like this for the reason because VGJ's team fight is amazing right now.
Yeah.
Why do you want to headbutt into that? I think much more plausible would be something like an Ember Spirit, just like tear them apart from afar.
Not only is it amazing, but they have a lot of magic damage.
Yeah.
Right? And DK is very, very tanky against physical, not as much, nearly as much against magical.
And Knight's most picked hero of the Supermajor with a 33% win rate on 24 games.
DK?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's won his last couple to get that high.
Yeah. He was really low. But that's because of weird combinations. DK, DP.
Right.
Don't do that. Yeah. We have seen it a lot of times, actually.
We have. 2 heroes that do the same thing.
Yeah, I do not know why. But we are not going to see it anymore.
Newbee's approach to me is let's get these really tanky cores and just be able to 5-man around the map. Tanky cores, you can go BKB. Here's the hero that counters these tanky cores.
Perfect. Perfect.
They benefit from the Bloodseeker being banned by picking up the Slark.
Yeah.
It's a bit scary though.
Very nice.
Disruptor counters Slark until you have BKB.
True.
You can never go on the Disruptor or you will just get instantly ulti.
And the Doom versus Slark goes both ways a bit. Like if you can get into Fog, you're going to heal up through the Doom. But if you Doom maintains vision of you, then you're just screwed.
I mean, mid late game, if you ever get doomed, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And just as you were talking about, right? When you see 2 tanky strength cores, you immediately think of the Slark because they want to be able to man fight, and Slark says, "Oh, thank you for the stacks."
Yeah. Have they played offlane DK or safe lane DK? I really want to see an Ember Spirit. It's even better.
They have played safe lane DK.
They have played one game, yeah. Yang's played it offlane.
No, I mean Newbee.
Sorry, Newbee, yeah.
No, Newbee.
The kind of cores that are good against Slark are those like cores you can't lock onto. Like Ember, Storm is also amazing. I love Storm against Slark, but feeding that in with the Dragon Knight suddenly becomes a bit awkward.
Yeah. And we said this time and time again. This SCCC on DK is... it's not what I want to see.
It's not on KP, is it?
It could go... If they play 4-position Doom, the Dragon Knight can play 3-position.
But against the Slark on lane, that is terrible.
It doesn't sound great.
Yeah. KP hasn't played it in the last few months.
What about Mugi? Has he?
I think Mugi DK
Mugi
fits very
had a couple.
well.
Yeah, he's played a couple of games.
Safe and
it
DK,
fits very well in
accept.
this hero
Safe and
pool.
DK, I accept. If they pick something like an Ember, it's
pick Storm.
really nice.
Storm
is
I
really
like
good
more
too,
than Ember here. There is
just one of the spirits.
Yeah.
Except Earth Spirit.
You want an Earth Spirit mid?
I want to see a spirit draft where you draft all the spirits.
And it's Team Spirit who do it.
Yes. That would be fun, wouldn't it? 5 spirits.
Come on, Newbee, you know you want to do it.
Yeah,
you want to put the DK safe lane. You do not want to have it mid.
And they may as well just pick the hero they want now since they have 2 picks in a row.
Weaver. So this is a DK mid.
Okay.
So it's the same approach with the Ember Storm where you get these cores that Slark doesn't match up well against, kind of, but Weaver is just nowhere near as good as the Ember or the Storm.
Yeah. And he's very squishy. One stun, he actually dies.
Exactly. And the numbers just are not good. Mugi 1 and 2 on Weaver the last 3 months. SCCC 4 and 9 on Dragon Knight in the same period.
Yeah, I mean...
This is,
I'm disappointed, Newbee. I want to see you playmaker in a playmaking role. But now he's stuck on DK again.
Turn to ban.
I always have nightmares whenever I see the Weaver come out. This takes me back to that one solitary game I have on Weaver.
How did that go?
0 and 13.
Ooh.
Not too bad offlane support.
And Shane O'Mad was playing on the other team as a Ricky.
Oh,
and literally destroyed me.
But Ricky destroys.
I still have nightmares about it. Happy birthday for the other day, Shane, by the way, if you're watching.
Yeah.
You swine.
So I'm expecting Thunder to last pick the mid, right? Offlane dual pressure with the Lash. Most likely. Lash Tusk.
Flexible though. If they wanted
Very
to do
flexible,
Lash, they could do Lash mid versus Dragon Knight. That also
Which
sounds
is
great.
Very good, yeah. They're actually expecting it.
I still think they could pick Underlord 5th. Good Thunder.
VG?
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Weaver is not good against Underlord at all.
Yeah, I like Underlord
It's a big Yang hero as well.
I'll win to a Newbee picks who need most likely a 4.
Does Yang play Lash? Has he?
No.
No,
he has a relatively narrow pool.
Yeah,
then we can expect Freeze to be on the Lash. Or does he play the Slark? I actually believe he plays the Slark, right? And stylized the Lash?
Freeze has played Lash.
Freeze played
Yeah,
Lash?
Freeze has definitely played Lash.
Freeze has
got
played
4
Slark
in the last
as well.
3 months.
In fact, the only game that they've
So they pick a
picked
support
Slark,
now.
it's been
Has to be
Freeze.
support.
Zeus.
Zeus
I like
is
it.
Zeus
I was
support.
thinking about Zeus.
So support Zeus?
It's
Yes.
not great if Slark gets on top of you. You can position well and hide from him. Get a Ghost Scepter. Like a farm Zeus. We've just seen this hero
This is a
destroy
mid
games.
Zeus and a
This
position
is
4
a
Doom.
You think so?
SCCC?
Kaka Doom. He played it before, right?
Okay.
Position 4 Doom, he played it quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think
That
he was a
works.
fan of it.
Yeah, he has.
It
You want,
works,
this
but
you want this to be core Zeus, though.
yeah, mid Zeus.
SCCC.
Mid Zeus. Offlane DK.
seconds
That's the only way they can really make it work.
You don't think?
Huh.
I think support Zeus can work, or
It
just-
can
I think
work.
can.
It can
I
work.
think it can.
I think it works because of the reason you mentioned. The DK in the offlane just feels pretty bad against
It
Slark.
feels terrible.
I mean, the thing is now, it's given Thunder something to think about because both Kaka and SCCC have played the Zeus.
Right.
Sure.
And
I
they
think
know that. So,
But I think it's...
your thoughts is get a pipe hero,
Yeah, they need
Get an
they need
Underlord.
Underlord or something like that. They need damage mitigation.
Tide.
Tide, yeah,
Underlord.
Underlord, Tide. Tanky offlaner.
Yeah, I just think Doom Zeus sounds like so much more threatening in the offlane than DK and anybody.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't like DK offlane. I never have. It just feels very...
I mean, I think it was good when the hero was just blatantly OP.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
I think
but
it's kind of
The DK 3 position works if you can do it like safe lane in a 1v1 and then
Right.
aggro with the Disruptor Weaver, perhaps.
I wouldn't mind someone that can jump the Zeus too with the last pick and put the Lash offlane.
what about the Pugner here?
But very
keep
squishy
it
line. You have no
simple.
good
Robotic
front
Storm
You
line.
or
need a
something.
pipe carrier.
Center.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
fine
jump
too.
the Zeus.
Very good.
Run him.
All right.
And of
That's
course,
fine too.
damage mitigation. You
Oh,
get
they're
aggro.
Kaka
gonna- they're
support
going to do
Zeus.
Kaka. Yeah, it's
There
going
you
to be
go.
a Kaka Zeus.
Yeah.
And that was immediately locked in. Dragon King's gone to
I like it.
We'll see.
Actually, the Centaur could do a lot of work.
You think so?
They've kind of sold
If he
them a
gets
dummy there, haven't
Aghanims.
they?
I really don't like that Weaver, but I'm not a fan of that Centaur either.
The Weaver's putting me off,
Ah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
like
it's
it
a-
at
I
all.
would pick.
Moogie
I
Weaver.
would pick Newbee if Weaver were some other hero.
Like something with mobility that can actually just like
Do
abuse
damage.
abuse their lack of like disables.
All right, let's get some predictions, gods.
Bit more faith in the Weaver pick, I think. I'm going to feel Newbie here for game number 1.
Okay. Newbie for gods. Black.
Do I?
Newbie.
All right.
Do I
2 for
hate
2.
the Centaur less
the
than the
Weaver.
Weaver? I am going to. I'll go Newbie. I'll
You're
go
a
Newbie.
hater,
Yeah.
basically.
I
He's
am-
a hater, guys.
Okay.
To game 3 we go.
Panel curse in full effect here, as all of our panel members have gone for Newbie. And if you've been following us over the last 5 days, you'll realise that that's curtains as far as Newbie is concerned. Let's find out whether it's true or not, or whether the curse panel has been broken as we head back to our commentary team for game number 2.
Thank you, Rada. Yes, game 2 of this best of 3 between Newbee and VGJ Thunder. I'm Mighty Pixel, I'm here with Fogged, and we're ready to get this one underway. The panel all siding with Newbie on this
Thanks,
game.
Alan.
And it is indeed, of course, the support Zeus.
It is.
This Kaka Zeus coming into play. The Slark pick for sure, as was talked about, maybe sort of catching them off in the sense that Newbie were preparing themselves for this hero.
It did seem like
And
it.
it got taken away from them.
Yep, the 2 tanky strength heroes, and they pick a Slark. And also, you know what's something we didn't point out in the last game? Look at this Slark. Do you see how cool Sylar looks in
Let me
these
see.
games?
Now, let me see.
He's got the set. He's got the thing. The sunken relic for this year. He's got this, whatever you want to call it.
the cosmically rare reward.
What's it called? I don't know what it's actually called now.
It's called the I got a load of money.
Okay. I mean, it looks pretty dope, though. We're
Yeah,
looking at other
dude,
heroes,
it
but we'll
looks-
get there.
It looks better than last year.
Sylar's actually battling versus KP.
That's
Look how
first.
cool he looks.
Look at it. Now, he would not get this kill if he did not have that relic.
What's different about it this year?
He-
Beside it being green. Was the other one 4 circles and this one's only 3?
The other one, I believe,
and
it
this
was,
one
I
leaves
think
the
the one was
crystal
more,
shards.
it had like a circle, a more clearer circle, because obviously
Yeah.
the last one was blue rather than the green.
Of course.
This one is actually a little more subtle, but it's nice.
I like this one. 'cause
Look
you
at
have
the
little,
trail it
you have
leaves.
the trail, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's pretty.
Wow.
All right, so looking at the drafts. Weaver. I don't like this hero overall in most games. Moogie is probably one of the few players that I do like actually playing the hero. I think also that VG Thunder, I think they picked this Centaur kind of expecting that this Zeus to be positioned as core.
But
Because what they
haha.
lacked in that last game was the play to actually just get on top of the Zeus. But
It was not.
it was not. Kaka's playing it. So we'll see what they can make happen of this Zeus support, and KP is going to be playing that same hero. And, you know, the panel, they've been flaming Dragon Knight nonstop, and then they went with Dragon Knight.
It's SCCC.
It is.
It's hard not to be SCCC.
Beautiful, man.
So let's see what we get out of these lanes. Which side lane do you think is going to be the one where we're going to see stuff go down in?
Stuff go down. I mean, both side lanes. Stuff's always going to go down in right now.
No, that's true.
I mean, I've actually seen Kaka do this in majority of the times that he likes to duel off lane with KP, it seems. He pulls that second wave. Pretty much every single game that I've seen him positioned up here with KP.
And he gets away with it.
Yeah.
Not a lot they can do to disable him from dragging those creeps around. DDC will try and follow as much as he can to have a look in on the denies.
So because of him pulling that wave, we're going to be, the action lane is going to be bottom now. Because they're just going to be doing some like casual like lane securement and stuff up top. Bottom is where the battling is going to happen. Either Faith or one of the two melee heroes on the side of Thunder, who should technically suffer on this bottom lane. Double ranged hero for Newbee, double melee for Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to rush Yang a bit at the moment, but he did take that level 1 in the old passive in that return, so not really too much they could do with the punches. That was hurting him just as much as it was hurting him.
Yeah, it hurts the Faith quite a lot every time he does get those hits.
He has to be close how careful he does get. Do start to bully that Weaver back underneath his tower.
They don't have a sentry in the lane. That's usually one of the big things we look at when we see Weavers in lane is you put a sentry down, that hero is much weaker in lane because every time you Shikuchi, you're still going to get hit. And you're always having to be able to keep tabs and get those like maybe instant stun, maybe from the Centaur and whatnot. But they don't have that.
They do not. Regen rune there for the Lesh.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, gets half of it broken, but still recovered a decent amount of mana.
So at the moment in that mid lane, 13 for 4 for SCCC, 10 for 2 for Freeze.
Dragon Knight has no cares for your spam.
And with that Tango sitting on a healthy 17.3 regen when he's chomping on the old trees.
Looks like they're gonna pull the creep wave again top, so that's gonna be just Newbee up here. So this lane, they shouldn't really die, especially with this ice armor on the side of Newbee. They might be able to threaten DDC, but
very little damage. But DDC indeed does have the Shadow Word in case they did look to punch back on it.
Camp was blocked again. A small camp at least. I think Kaka dewarded. I believe there was a sentry blocking the big camp, and he dewarded it with it. Well, killed it with the lightning bolt as well as a tango, so that they can make sure to have that big camp open for the Doom to be able to find a decent creep for the Devour in the next usage.
Well, despite this pulling of the lanes and such, the Slark still going relatively undisturbed. Top lane Sylar.
Yeah, helps because he has the Warlock, right? So he's able to offset any of that damage that the Zeus puts in and any of that tank damage that is done when he's, taking creeps under the tower. Kaka eats a Shadow Word. We'll be just fine, though. Fade TP's mid, fills up Freeze's bottle. So they're just still trying to enable this Last Strike to somehow be able to punish SCCC, who's still just absolutely free farming in the mid lane.
Only really KP at the moment that's having struggle finding the farm, but only a little, so.
Yeah. Level 6 is going to be where we see the big rotation, at least on the mid lane, for either side. Level 6 Last Strike can threaten kills onto Dragon Knight because of that massive damage that comes out from the Pulse Nova, while on reverse, Last Strike is a fairly squishy hero, so if they do make a movement, they could punish with the Dragon Tail from SCCC. But they don't have the best roamers this time around on the side of Newbee. It's a Disruptor and a Zeus, which is not usually your ideal to be making the moves around.
No. Whereas over on Thunder, they do have this Tusk and Fade towards the mid. No trap SCCC.
It's going to be very hard.
Yeah, a little low mana freeze, so can't really continue with the spam.
I don't think they can kill anyway. I think they have to wait for the 6. Like, this is a Dragon Knight with 11 wand charges versus a Leshrac. You don't have the damage potential unless you've harassed him down very low in the laning phase, which is pretty damn hard. Now, DDC has made the movement down toward bottom to try to help Yang out, who is getting gone on. The Swarm has been thrown out, and Yang
is gone. Can they find anything else out of this? Doesn't look like they want to chase. Moogie backs away from DDC, but
it's rune time.
He is going to be able to claim the one down here. They've also found the one up top, so they'll get at least 3 of the 4.
Yep, 3 of the 4.
3 of the 4 runes for Newbee.
And Kaka's got Arcanes, so that's going to make their bottom lane much more threatening. They're always going to have mana to be able to pressure this Centaur, so I'm a bit concerned now for Yang staying down here. He's got to have DDC backing him up.
I'm interested to see what the build is going to be from Mugi this game. He's actually making another go down bottom again. The kinetic field onto Yang, as well as the bugs. He does have the Shadow Word heal, but Mugi's going to look to try and dive in.
Another
with the
ball.
spam from the Zeus, it's enough. They'll even get the drag back onto DDC with that glimpse Faith, making sure that they could have a good shot at setting up for 2 kills, and they certainly will as Mugi moves in to finish it off.
Ooh, and I was concerned for that Centaur, and they die, and it's as the catapult is coming in, and they have a double range creep on the tower as well, so some damage to that tower will be coming out for Newbee. We do see Fade sitting behind this Lesh mid, though. They do have the level 6 available, so this is where they could have kill potential.
They do get pretty nice shards here, pushing SCCC back to a turn with the Dragon Tail. Has got the stick charges. In comes KP with the stun, trying to hold them back, and that will save SCCC. Perfect rotation from KP, and now with Faith coming in, he'll get the kinetic field down. Not really enough damage to follow onto them until, well, Kaka comes in with the side, and now with the full mana, can start to spam. VGJ Thunder have to back off.
They killed both wards as well. They killed the bottom ward that was placed earlier near the river, and they just killed the mid ward from Kaka's movement. Then DDC denies that Arcane Rune away. So VG Thunder, they'll be limited on their vision. They only have that one that's placed on the top side for the next couple moments. I don't believe they have... Okay, they have one more on the Warlock. But losing 2 of them this early is quite painful. And SCCC survives from the first level 6 rotation for that last Shrek.
What do you think the build is going to be from Mugi this game? Because it's not really a game where you want to get a Lincoln Sphere, is it? There's not really anything that you're buying that for.
No.
No. How do you build the Carrier Weaver nowadays in 2018?
I don't see it too often, so I'm not too sure. Could maybe be that Diffusal, you go for the double mana break thing, or maybe you just rush a Desolator.
I've seen an attempt on the Mugi's life. He does have this level 6, the time-lapse available if he needs to do so, but he actually just gets caught by the stun. Maybe they can find kills in return. Kaka, with the arc lining, will be able to claim 1. They've got the glimpse back onto a second as SCCC comes in with the fire. So they do lose Mugi, but they do manage to get 2 in return. Again, it is this Centaur dying.
Yeah, I'm wondering actually. I'm wondering what the Weaver actually could go. Because if I was Envy, I'd be like it'd be Hood into something else. But since it's the Chinese teams, it could be like BKB Diffusal or BKB Deso. I think that's more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Hood certainly would.
It's pretty good versus
sense.
the lineup.
It is a tasty one for the Weaver, but we'll see. Indeed, is what Mugi wants to go for.
Siler gets a D ward up top. They give him a sentry, and they had that preemptive ward down until they saw Faith actually place the one on the high ground to try to defend KP.
Oh, again, Fade. He has been hitting some very nice shards this game. Gets the perfect trap onto Fade.
Now Newbee distributing their resources. As soon as SCCC TP's bottom, they send Kaka mid, who actually has a point booster already on the Zeus, on top of Arcane Boots.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad at all in the farm. He's ahead of Yang.
Very farmed. Efficient use of recharge. I mean, close to the chorus in the game in net worth.
Overall, though, it is the fact that their Sylar Slark has been quietly free farming away up top. He is top net worth, level 8 on the Slark.
He is playing versus a Doom, though. Of course, Pano's talking about it too, is if you do get doomed, if you can get yourselves into the tree lines, it can be great, but if you get doomed in the instance of a fight and you can't actually run from the Doom, you are doomed, screwed. You'll be in a lot of trouble. It's also as well versus a Disruptor. So versus in the early game, you can actually get picked off quite a lot from those spells that are available from Newbee. And Newbee, again, they're very good about making sure that they distribute the resources and experience on their supports. When they're realizing that they're suffering a little bit, they tend to give them the lanes. I just saw Faith occupying bottom for a bit as well.
Faith. Coming in again, Yang has to be very careful how he moves down here. Quick glimpse, even if it is underneath his tower, will allow Mugi to dive in.
Sylar also doing the same thing that we saw from the last Slark. He is jungling exclusively, giving DDC priorities and levels up top as that Warlock. We do tend to see that quite a lot. But this rotation, wrapping around from behind. SCCC is mirroring the move, though. He seems to expect that this is coming.
Here they go, straight in onto the Zeus immediately, trying to take Kaka out of the fight. That's a lot of damage output that they can limit by taking the Zeus away, and they can. They'll take down one, they'll look towards Disruptor Faith, trying to wake his way out of this, but he's not getting out. Double kill for Freeze as VGJ Thunder coming with the rotation. SCCC now looking for the counterplay. Pops the Dragon Form, but he can't quite reach them for the Dragon Tail stun.
It seemed like he knew that this rotation was happening, but the rest of his team wasn't aware, and he actually just cut up looking for, just cut up and then I guess was waiting for the rune and then started making the way toward bottom. So he actually doesn't get the rune and isn't able to get to his teammates on time, and Freeze will secure a double damage.
Well, it is still this early game where it's even 5 for 5, but that Slark is still getting away with a lot.
Yeah. Able to flash farm much faster than a Weaver. A Weaver wants to be able to get tons of kills in the laning phase in order to stay at the same pace of a Slark. You can just always use Dark Pact in the jungle and accelerate that. So Mugi has queued up the Diffusal. So, you know, we assumed there was like 3 options that he had. Diffusal, Deso, and I don't think there was another one actually, but the Hood. Yeah, that's right.
I think Diffusal's very nice in this as well, especially when you look at the 2 cores, the Slark and the Centaur, 2 heroes that you absolutely have a chance of rendering them pretty useless if you're able to get the mana pulled down. And bottom lane, nice deny. Sylar.
Yeah, the mana burn could really come into play.
Yeah.
Could be pretty nice versus the Lesh too. Sure, Lesh has a lot of mana, but
he gets
uses
pretty
a lot.
quick.
Yeah, you use a lot of mana, so if you are getting hit a couple times, so I think it'll probably be Diffusal BKB, I think, on the Weaver in this game.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like they still got that Blightstone as well. I thought with the Diffuser, it's a considerable amount of damage.
It is.
How is he doing on the levels? He's what level 8?
Level
so
8, yeah.
I imagine he will take the mana break rather than the experience game, right? On the Weaver.
I have some experience in a couple games, so the mana break is a little underwhelming.
Well, top lane. We go with the Doom. Same time, there's backup here for Yak. Drag back to the man with the glimpse into the Static Storm, though. Fade with perfect control. Sets up for 2 onto Newbee, and they can look to chase for more. Fade in trouble. Only Freeze here.
Freeze alone.
He's going to miss the stun. They've lost 3 on VGJ Thunder. Diving in deep Newbee for Freeze. The buybacks will come out. Fade coming back in, trying to help out Freeze. They turn to look towards Faith, but Faith again, kinetic field's down. Snowball will be there across to allow them to finish off Faith. So at least the buyback can get them that kill. It does keep Freeze alive as well, but still, you'll be getting aggressive up top. Faith with some fantastic control on the Disruptor.
S-Triple-C able to claim mid tower, but at the same time, Sylar now has the Shadow Blade finished up since he was farming bottom during that entire exchange. Still fairly even. It's a slight advantage coming out to Newbee from that first move that they made with their supports up top. Sylar is on the prowl. Can't quite kill any of the cores on the side of Newbee unless they catch them off guard with this sentry. He can hunt supports quite easily, but finding solo kills on one of these cores is much more difficult right now. And Mugi has spotted Sylar for a second. Sylar is aware, but oop, top Kaka actually gets caught by the Tusk as well as the Lash. Just stepped up a bit too far. Sylar is pinging nonstop, knowing that there's a ward somewhere around this bottom side, but it's actually in a very sneaky spot from Newbee.
That will be a little tricky to de-ward. He himself doesn't have any detection on him.
He's starting to have a feeling of where it is. Yeah, now he's pinging this side now. And they saw him, so KP will be safe. And they're prioritizing giving Kaka farm this game. Halfway to Aghanims. He just goes right back top after dying, doesn't care, he's just going to force the wave in.
And it's incredibly annoying to play against as a Slark, the Nimbus.
Yep.
Every time you sort of want to look to commit on a target, bam, a defensive Nimbus is dropped down, and suddenly you have to get out.
Yeah, will be forced to stampede away. They also use the Zeus ulti to scout out down bottom. Can KP get away? Nice shards.
And with the snowball, they'll be able to close back, but the bounce will miss. It might not matter though, because there is 4 of them. Freeze comes in with a stun, and they will still find KP.
Very nice. Very nice shards. Again, by Fade, showing that he is one of the all-time bests at this Tusk. Still one of the few players that's actually playing it. It's kind of fallen off very heavily in this tournament.
Despite not really any sort of major changes or nerfs really to the hero, have there been?
He's gotten to the ice shards. The cooldowns really started to hurt him inside the laning phase. The snowball speed as well, scaling. A couple changes that happened a little bit ago.
But still fundamentally, this hero can do things that just no other hero can.
Absolutely.
And he does take the mana break.
So doubling down on
that and the diffuser blade, it's like, oh, it's tasty. But he's been watched. Can they kill him with the chain control? Oh, it's unlikely. He's got the time lapse, and Mugi indeed will be fine. In fact, Sylar, see a few touches there with the mana break talent. Sylar's pretty much out of mana. He'll put the stick charges, jump up to the high ground, but Mugi will continue to chase. Mid lane, they have the control as Fade trapped in the static storm, beaten down by the dragon.
Just making sure they get the kill. Maybe a tiny bit of overkill, but doesn't matter. They want to use their ultis as fast as possible. Anyway, they've already taken all the tier 1s, so they're going to go back to farming a bit here because the DK form is also ending. If he does have a Doom available, though, if they want to look for some type of play with this. And now level 10, too. So we'll have that phase, drum, plus... Never mind. I thought he actually was going to skill the movement speed or the other one, but it just skills an extra point of Devour.
Oh,
when it was on cooldown still, too.
Okay.
That's a little different.
Oh, a bit
I
different.
usually see the level 10 talent come out at 10. Quite strong on the Doom.
It certainly does feel like the pressure is going to be on for Newbee to make the plays. If you have this core Weaver going with the mana break and going with the diffusal blade first, you know, you're not farming. You have to be getting active with the sign build.
Yeah, but they are also maybe thinking like we're versus Lash, and Lash can be a bit susceptible versus the amount of damage that they could be having, although Freeze is incredibly farmed already with this Bloodstone. Maybe the thing like DK Weaver, these two heroes, they can scale to a point where maybe they can tank them through the Slark.
I guess.
Maybe.
But then would you want to be going diffusal blade first if that was the case? Would you maybe be opted towards like a Maelstrom? Or
it's a pretty damn good damage on the Weaver. But mid, Blink Dagger finished on Yang, on top of that Hood. Quick jump in onto Faith.
Moogie has been spotted. They're just trying to close the gap here with the Stampede and with the chains done. They got it. Very nicely done by Thunder. Instantly reacting to that as the sentry gets laid down.
That is 90% kill involvement right now for this Leshrac at the 16-minute mark.
Bloodstone charges as well off the back of those plays.
Yeah.
Another tower.
Just seems pretty hard for Newbee to actually make the moves because they've got this Zeus as their 4. They've got Disruptor for the catch, but they're really relying on when SCCC has Elder Dragon form to really make plays around. And now there is a BKB as well finished on this Dragon Knight, so they could play around that, but it is harder for them to make plays in comparison to a Tusk Centaur lineup. And Sylar, of course, being versus that heavy amount of magic damage and a Disruptor. The BKB, we've seen Shadow Blade BKB like every game on Slark now.
As I say, he needs it because that Nimbus is now in play. Aghanim is done on Zeus.
That could, that really adds a lot of damage into their draft, which was kind of missing a bit here.
It really makes it tough for the Slark to sort of get those quick and easy pickoffs. You don't want to be sticking around punching into people underneath an Nimbus.
Could allow for Moogie to set up some... He could play kind of like a Slark in a way, right?
I think
looking around for the solo kills too.
I really think
he should go hunting.
You can't just farm. You're buying this Diffusal to chase and kill people.
Yeah, Diffusal plus Nimbus, he can definitely secure kills easily on supports and maybe even on a unsuspecting Leshrac, who's still quite squishy, although took the 5 armor talent, so not as much so.
Oh, there we go, Thunder on the prowl.
That Blink Dagger with Stampede available.
SCCC has his own BKB. That is the Diffusal Blade complete for Moogie, so they have got this sort of power spike Newbee for this team fight as long as they don't get caught off guard. Some smoke on smoke action as Thunder will sweep past them. There's the scouting with the Thunder God's Wrath. Wait. Was that Sylar ping? It looked like SCCC ping. I wondered if you could see the cosmically rare green thing. I don't know if that was his ping or Sylar's ping, but they get the vision. There's the Golem coming down. Doesn't manage to catch onto 4. Sylar gets the chance to put the Shadow Dance. He does turn. Gets taken into the Snowball. Snowball over towards Kaka. He has to jump up to the high ground. Can they finish him off? Sylar taking a lot of damage. They've managed to finish off DDC. Sylar will live by the looks of it as he gets himself just far enough away. No! Faith has the control. He has the vision for the glimpses. Sylar does get caught out. Faith on the Disruptor, getting the big kills for the side. As Moogie gets a double, he's able to scout out the Centaur with the bugs out. They've found a third as SCCC finishes off Fade on the side of it all. And now with the Doom drop down, they're ready to chase down Yang. Yang, he's got the Shrine, but the Shrine has got that Nimbus above it, so he cannot hang around. He gets chased down. They lose another VGJ Thunder.
And that was into a Warlock ulti, but they were able to get the initial pull onto that Slark. Even though Yang was able to delay it, or even though Fade was able to delay it a bit with the Snowball, overall the Dragon Knight just walks in with BKB in that fight and takes 0 damage. Their physical is very limited when the Slark gets initiated on first. Weird. That's a weird ward, actually, now that I look at it. I guess it was just to spot the Centaur, right? Not that one. They went up. Yeah, there we go. Because I did see him, but that one doesn't give a whole lot of vision. But so, very successful for Newbee. And as you said, critical timing for them. They just picked up the BKB, they just picked up the Diffusal, and now they're getting a couple more items. Dragon Knight with a Blink, Also, Doom with the blink too, so they're going to be able to set up those ganks even easier. And KP's actually, so what it seems like he's doing is he's just prioritizing getting more gold in this game. Because he's even put another level into the Doom instead of getting the talent. They want to be able to just get this heavy scale going and make sure that they can keep progressing into the later stages.
I mean, I can appreciate that, you know, in terms of getting the extra movement speed. You know there's a center on the other side. Chances are you're not really going to be able to get away with a run at them and doom them.
Exactly.
So
even
why invest anything in it at this stage?
Yeah, even puts the 4th point in the Devour too. So yeah, just heavily emphasizing on making sure that he can keep that gold up.
Yeah.
Cool.
And build to be from Mugi will be, as you say, just going for the BKB after the defusal.
That is the, yeah. I think he has to.
I think, as I said, I'm really happy he didn't go for Lincoln's. I like that he's the defusal, the BKB this game. That's the way you've got to build a Weaver.
Like, what does he block in this game? There's really nothing significant.
We've seen teams before just pick Weaver and build Lincoln's Sphere and be like, why is he building Lincoln's Sphere? But Mugi's a smart man.
I mean, he's versus Leshrac too. The only way he really dies in this game is if he is standing next to Lex, and he wants to be able to stand next to Leshrac, to be able to punch into him with that. Whenever he has BKB, he can do that. Bottom, KP eats the catapult. That's the low level, or the high level Devour, a low cooldown.
And Fate is watching him from the side. And from the see where they have to be forced to go next as Newbee are pushing in on top.
It looks like they're just gonna wait for. I think they may just wait for the BKB on the Weaver since Mugi's getting very close. But as I say that they're grouping up, it looks like they're gonna smoke. So maybe look for a 4-man smoke play while Mugi does this. They could meet the Weaver up toward to the jungle.
This is a fight, though, into that newly picked up pipe from Yang, which is going to do so much against the Kakazus in these fights.
Still no BKB, though, on Sylar.
Sure.
It's flying out on the courier, though, with a gem, too.
Oh, there we go. They're opening, and there's the Nimbus down, and bam, the Slark is gone.
Before it.
Perfect time for Newbee to pick a fight, and again, the vision to the glimpse from Faith will set up for a second.
Literally as the courier is delivering the BKB. I think I've seen that so much this tournament as well. These timings, just playing a little bit faster.
And sort of pick-offs involvement. That's going to mean that Mugi is 400 gold away from the full BKB himself.
Level 15 now too, so fairly squishy hero, the Weaver. 12 strength talent really does help quite a lot for that. Almost a full Yasha now for SCCC too, so they're starting to pick up quite a big surge in momentum. And I mean, gold's only 3K, experience about 4K, but still pretty significant in the map control they're able to claim from these type of kills.
Oh, towards mid. Trying for a bit of an illusion bet, but the illusion's going to tick out, so Newbee will not be caught out by that one. Nimbus popped down to block off the chase from Thunder. And there it is. BKB's out for both cores, Mugi and Sylar, ready to go for each respective side.
Decent disengage there for Newbee. Nobody ends up dying. They do lose their Ops Ward, though, that they placed in a pretty obvious position. Actually, they just placed it on the high ground, which, I mean, you're playing versus Slark. You have to be a little bit sneaky, usually, with the wards.
Oh, Faith.
There's
I
a
don't
gem
think
on
he's
this.
Getting out of this one.
Gem on Slark.
There we go. Sylar onto Faith. Faith will drop the Static Storm out, but Sylar, of course, with his BKB, looks to just attack into Mugi. Mugi's got the time-lapse, has to pop it. Will Shikuchi himself out of here. They'll try and put the Stampede to chase, but the Nimbus is down, forcing Thunder to regroup and back off.
That long animation from Doom. You see the arms go up. The instant Shadow Dance comes out from the Slark to make sure he does not get doomed. And this is, I mean, having the gem on the Slark in this game is pretty nice when he's matched up versus that Weaver. You see Shikuchi comes out, still able to hit him through it. Now Newbee is aware that there is that gem there. Oh. Peeks into the Nimbus really quickly.
Still, again, it's another close one between these two teams, because Freeze is still farming away very nicely. He himself on top of the Bloodstone in Yule Scepter is now able to make progress on his BKB.
So they're 15 seconds till Disrupt ulti, but they've got the Blink Doom, and now the talent is acquired for KP, so a bit faster on that Doom with the Scorched Earth.
Sylar
gets instantly
he
jumped.
gets caught out indeed. Can they change something? That's the question. The golem's been dropped down. That would give time for Sylar to react. He backs off, and there straight away with a punch, they're able to take down the Disruptor. Mugi, look at the damage he's doing. Cuts down Yang. They've got the Doom down as well as they chase down this Sylar trying to run. The Stampede is up in time, so he'll be able to get himself away, but the two supports from VGJ, Thunder are taken down. Freeze looking to turn, but Newbee, they've got the favorable numbers. Buybacks have to come out from Thunder, and they do. 2 buybacks coming into play. KP trying to run himself away, but he cannot escape. SCCC in the midst of it all, standing his ground, but they've killed off 3 Thunder. They'll be able to take SCCC as well by the looks of it, as a final punch comes in from Sylar to finish off the Dragon Knight. They had to buy back, but they were able to take the fight around their shrine as Newbee push on too deep.
Something bursted down Mugi pretty quickly. He wasn't actually able to get the time-lapse off in it. There's a lot of damage going off inside of the middle of the fight. But yeah, 2 buybacks forced. As soon as the BKB start wearing down, Newbee also did not have their Disruptor ulti up during that engagement, even though they were able to get the Doom upon the slug. Disengaged, that's the big thing about the Slark. You get doomed, you can still run away, get your heal going. They have to be able to stick on top of Sylar in those fights.
There we go.
The Freeze did it, lose a couple of Bloodstone charges, but they get the Roche. They're very happy with that situation.
Oh yeah, the buybacks paid off for sure. That slight lead that Newbee did have is now gone. Game is back to being a level playing field. Lincolns will be the next item for Sylar. On top of that BKB. So he can just feel incredibly confident frontlining in these fights. And making it harder and harder for those blinks to be effective from Newbee.
Yeah. I mean, Newbee's very heavily still magic damage. Even like the mana break as well as the diffusal. Still, like a lot of that damage that comes out from the Weaver is still, it's gonna get negated a little bit from those BKBs.
And he's got the money for the Dragon Lance, but yeah, in sort of terms of that big item that's going to come out and add to the right click, it's not going to be there for quite some time. We'll see where it goes after Dragon Lance, if he does want to finish off the Hurricane Pike, or if he is Mugi going to start for something a little bit bigger.
Sylar getting Lincolns. This is an incredibly good Lincolns game for VGJ Thunder. You know, we were talking about the Weaver. It's not a good game for it, but for them, you know, Dragon Tail as well as the Doom, 2 very good spells to be able to block with that one. Sure, they have ways to break it with Zeus and Disruptor from distance, but it's all about the instant break, it for the instant jump that Newbee does need to get inside of those fights to be able to take out this Slark.
Faith. Does you want to try for something here? For the Thunder Strike, Yules will be there. Still, the glimpse back into the Nimbus. Static Storm's down and Freezy's trapped. Again, Faith setting up plays for the team in the mid lane. Sylar jumping in onto KP. KP getting beaten up by the Tusk. They'll drop the Golem as well as they want to try for more Thunder. They look towards SCCC, pops the BKB immediately. Boogie, he's getting stunned up. He went into the mid-middle, will get the chance to time-lapse and put the BKB though himself. As now, Newbee can look for more out of this. Yang, he's out of mana. The Dragon Tail's there onto the Tusk on the side of it, but Faye gets the chance to pop the Snowball. Sylar and Yang also incredibly low. Fade will not be able to jump himself away as the Thunder God's Wrath comes through, finishes him off.
Leshrac respawns to the Bloodstone.
Sylar,
re-engage.
He's looking to go in as well. He's got the BKB still available, Sylar, and SCCC, he's been left alone. The rest of his team back up, and SCCC gets taken down. A big kill for Thunder to pick up off the back of that fight.
So just like last game, the Slark is still an absolute problem. However, the rest of them die pretty quickly to this Weaver as well as Dragon Knight, who's level 19 already for SCCC. So you see that level 3 Elder Dragon form coming into play there. Got a decent amount of damage. But yeah, look at that. Pretty much all the damage coming out from Thunder. Of course, Leshrac did die at the beginning of the fight, but that Slark really took over the fight. And now Sylar does have 26 Essence Shifts stacked up. He is spotted by the Warden Sentry, but he'll be able to take those out. KP just very hard for him to get those Dooms off in these situations. Just that quick Shadow Dance over and over again by the Slark.
Full Crimson Guard for Yang as well. These fights certainly aren't going to be getting any easier for Newbee.
Definitely not. Aegis is going to be getting reclaimed in about a minute and a half, which will give them a little bit more luxury to try to go for that straight kill onto the Slark, but it's still very hard for KP. He has to get like perfect situation where somehow they can control him before he's able to get that Shadow Dance off on the Slark. And already, the Lincolns is pretty much done. 150 GPM talent for SCCC.
Blink dagger for Fade.
Knowing that he needs to scale. And the 150 GPM is going to be crucial. Yeah, the blink, I'm glad he went straight after. I didn't know if he was going to finish the Spirit Vessel. He did, but now the blink on that Tusk, you know, we see very important to make sure that he can stop the combo coming out onto that Slark. This one quick snowball, able to get the BKB on this Sylar. Crucial.
And Sylar just getting the space to take down another tower. This Slark. Getting vastly out of control. Lincoln's is now there, so killing this man is not going to be an easy ordeal. Nope. As you said, not just with his own items in play, but the backup that he can rely on to be there from not just his supports, but Yang as well with the Stampede. They've got so many ways, Thunder, of making sure that Sylar has a fantastic time in the team fights.
Yeah, and lots of ways to protect the Stampede, to disengage, and also the Pipe and Crimson Guard finished at a pretty damn good timing for the Centaur, who's 1 in 6, 181 last hits though on Yang. So really emphasizing on keeping up in that farm so that he can go for these items to protect the Slark, protect his teammates from the damage that's going to be coming out from Zeus as well as Weaver in the backlines. I like that he's prioritized getting a good amount of farm.
Yeah, loads of sword next as well for him, so just something else he can throw down on Sylar.
Exactly. I mean, we've seen a couple times these, like, I remember like the S4 Centaur got the very early Blink Dagger in this tournament and then just stopped farming. So, Yang making sure that he's still going to be that impactful.
Well, he stopped farming because he got knocked out of the tournament, Fog. Don't be hard.
Oh, come on, you. I'll win.
That was you!
I meant in the game.
Oh, okay.
Arcane Wind freeze. Thunder continuing to control the map with this gem that was picked up very early on the Slark and just keeping these wards down. And it's really seeming like Newbee is struggling a lot to find any information on the map to look for the plays, but they are grouping up. Looks like they are going to look for a smoke play with this Maelstrom freshly picked up on Mugi.
Here we go. They want to try.
The jump.
They do want to try. It's not going to be easy.
The scan does not catch them. They're going to walk right into Thunder.
And Thunder have the high ground. SCCC though still is able to jump in. There's the links to block the Dragon's Tail, but there, look at the glimpse. No, Sylar plus the BKB. He's not messing around. There's no one to be dragged back into the claws of Newbee as VGJ Thunder disengage. There's the BKB down as well as the Stampede, but at the same time, Elder Dragon Form was used by SCCC.
Slight, very slight win there for Newbee, since they didn't commit any of their BKBs or any of their big ultis, just the Dragon Form. Lanes, though, constantly being pushed out. Fade, position bottom. Shoving that one in.
Yeah, 3-second pounce leash now on the Slark as well.
Takes the lifesteal this game as well, since he's versus Doom.
I like the lifesteal. Is it sort of still split between the Slarks that we've been seeing?
Yeah. Last game he went for the attack speed.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. He was versus Doom, the lifesteal is always going to be good.
Oh.
You can sometimes stay in the fight. It's still probably can be a bit risky if you don't have your BKB active, but
sure. And again, sort of like these tanky targets like the DK and Doom, there's always going to be something to lifesteal off.
Exactly. The longer duration fights for a Slark always going to be advantageous when you're versus those tanky cores. And we'll be going for the Shadow Blade, or the Silver Edge next, versus the Dragon Knight, built to break that passive, of course.
Do you like sort of the build he's going in the sense it's sort of a slow, but he's not getting like a Butterfly, a Skadi, Basher, any sort of big right-click item. It's all just about keeping himself alive.
I think I mean, this Silver Edge could become a different item, but the other items were absolutely needed in this game. Needs the BKB,
sure.
needs the Lincoln, so.
Yeah. It's just so normally we see sort of the Silver Edge upgrade coming a lot later than it is this game. Even in games where we have seen a Slark against heroes like a DK and such. But I mean, so far so good for Sylar. It's working out. It is 22-17, but as we can see, the 4K lead still favouring that the side of Thunder. Nullifier after Maelstrom will be the pickup for Mugi. There's 2.1k gold on towards that relic.
All right, so they can get rid of the Yule Scepter, especially from that lash that could be pretty obnoxious.
Fade. Look at the Static Storm down above him, but he's lost his life. So the rest of Newbee can get themselves in. The Crimson Guard has been popped there. CCC actually coming in from the backlines. The Golem will be dropped down. Fade tries to push himself away with the Ice Shards, but it will not keep him alive. He falls. Sylar popping the BKB, turning towards SCCC, whose BKB is now worn off. Sylar punching away. Freeze has the control with the stun. SCCC taken down as well.
They just have tremendous Slark issues. They have no way to kill this hero.
They're trying to chase for more here with the Stampede. They did also buy back on Fade's Tusk, hoping potentially for the fight to continue.
Who did the Doom go on that fight? Did it get blocked? Or am I
I think
blind?
it must.
I might just be blind.
Unless, yeah.
It's getting a bit late. It looks like it was casted. It looks like it hit somebody. So I'm going to be blind right now. I saw the double initiation on the back line from the Dragon Knight on the Tusk.
Yeah, that's what I was watching too.
Yeah, oops. My bad.
It's alright. He didn't doom a major target. And
Nobody died.
didn't kill a major target with a doom.
Nobody died with the
KP
doom.
was unable to do so. The armor's now there for Freeze, as Freeze continues just absolutely
Super,
massive.
yeah.
20k net worth.
15 of the 19 kills as well. Involvement.
Moogie is having a very good time though as well.
He
Once
is.
he gets that nullifier, but
It's
there
still
are
so
ways
hard.
to play around it.
Yeah.
There really is. There's so many saving mechanisms in play from Thunder's lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like the Slark goes out of control in every single fight. They cannot kill the Slark unless they get the Doom and control him somehow. Or until we get to the later stages, if Faith is ever able to get an Aghanim Scepter. But as we look on the net worth, Faith is prioritizing Sentries and Ops since he's versus a Slark who had a gem very early on, and we're going to have to wait till that GPM talent kicks in if he gets there.
And even if they somehow get the Doom down onto the Slark, through the Lincolns, through the Lotus Orb, there's going to be that snowball. There's also going to be the Aghanim Centaur coming
And
online
yep.
pretty soon. You've got that Stampede to get him out and over the terrain to safety.
He has it finished, actually.
Oh, it's out.
Yeah, so that's going to, I mean, even harder now to get to the Slark.
And straight away they go on top of Kaka. Kaka actually trying to get himself out with the TP.
Oop. Yang walked actually back into the Disruptor ulti, so couldn't get the hoof stomp off.
Alright, so Kaka actually able to get out of that one. Zala bouncing forward, they do have the punch slow onto Faith, but now the turnaround, SCCC just looks to take the punches down onto Faith, but Faith's got the snowball. Faith will survive for now. SCCC pops the BKB, gets himself up to the high ground. A kill off Faith, Faith buys back immediately. The vision here with the glimpse onto DDC, does get trapped in the kinetic field in a little bit of an awkward position. In fact, Thunder, they still want to fight. Yang jumps in, bursts down Faith, that'll be a dieback on the Disruptor. Moogie's trying to help the fight, but at this stage he still really is barely tickling into some of these heroes like Yang with the Crimson Guard and such. This Weaver just does not possess that much of a threat for Thunder.
They really don't deal a whole lot of damage anymore for quite a long time versus this Pipe and Crimson. And like you mentioned, I mean, the Aghanim's thrown on top too. How are they going to bring down anybody but the supports on the side of Thunder?
And Yang jumps in, two-man who stomp, two-man Golem, the snowball as well. Bam! SCCC KP leave the base and quickly lose their lives as now Thunder into the base. The Doom will get dropped down onto the lashes. They will be able to kill off Freeze, who decides to some reason walk himself behind the tier 3s and the racks and offer his life up.
He went way too deep going in there looking for the Zeus.
I mean, I guess he gets the buybacks out of KP and SCCC, but it does mean that his team can't push.
I guess he baited the Doom as well, and he's gonna respawn pretty quick. He's gonna respawn fast when that Doom comes up, so maybe they can look to go for a Roshan play off that, but it's a little, still does die.
It's got to be intentional. We'll see it again probably here. As this is that play, easy opening for Yang to get into. No hesitation from the Centaur.
Look at Freeze though, just really beelines it
Here we
all
go.
the way to the back. Pops the Edict,
Oh,
and then
I'm going in, boys. I'm back in the game. SCCC's come out. Put the BKB and stand his ground and take down Tusk. Zala's one pumping his BKB, but this BKB is going to wear out. In fact, with an Nimbus, he's got to get out of there. The Stampede will come into play, but they're looking to chase. They get the stun onto the Centaur. Newbee may be able to find another one out of this. Yang gets glimpsed back. He's being surrounded. Yang will fall as well. Newbee strike back.
And now it's full Daedalus on the Weaver instead of that Nullifier. So just
I like it.
realizing they really lack the physical damage to pierce through. Centaur does not have buyback.
He
Down
does
for
not.
85. Tusk either 50 seconds.
Will they realize the Centaur doesn't have buyback? That's a question.
There's no Golem either. They should be able to get this one. The BKB was used on the Slark as well. This is very dangerous if Thunder wants to contest this, and they won't be able to in time. All right, Newbee striking back.
That's a big swing back for them. Aegis, Jesus such.
Oh, DDC gets spotted.
They're going to be able to chase him and get another. There's no escape for this Warlock. Thunder. I don't know if they'll sort of followed suit after Freeze decided to throw his life away, but suddenly the rest of the team decided they wanted to as well.
Now they're starting to queue up the items, the counters to that Slark. The Hex has been queued up at least onto Kaka Zeus, still quite a ways away, and there is still that Lincolns that they have to pierce through, but They're starting to get the tools to be able to deal the damage through this Centaur's damage mitigation and get themselves some nice catches over and over again. What's the levels looking like? So Faith level 17, almost level 25 DK, almost 25 Weaver. All right, and they're starting to get a decent chunk of stuff coming in here for Newbee. And now the Weaver and the Dragonite have surpassed the Slark in net worth.
They have. This
that was really costly for them, for Thunder.
I mean, he looked like Thunder could have taken those middle racks.
Yeah, I mean,
if Freeze didn't dive in as such.
Freeze was playing, we had made like little to no mistakes at that point, and then that dive. R2K might be pulling his hair out a little bit right now.
Anyway, do you always take the movement speed on a Weaver at 25? Is there any chance we see him take that +1 Gemini attack because they do want the damage?
I have not seen that much Weaver at 25 anymore now.
That is true.
Because that's the new one. It used to be the 35% magic resist.
Oh.
Right? That was the old talent, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, that's still... You move so fast, though.
Yeah, I think
the
movement...
Got the Daedalus, the Gemini attack...
It's tempting. It's tempting.
It is tempting.
We'll
what
see.
did he do?
He did the movement speed. I mean, that one, 700, and yeah, that one's pretty ridiculous. And then he can keep up with the Centaur, and they can keep chasing.
Yeah.
I thought maybe this could be a one, because we were saying the damage does seem to be an issue sometimes to go through all that mitigation, but he wants mobility.
Yeah. That's understandable. It is hard to pass up on that much movement speed.
750.
Here we go. Thunder God's Wrath to scout things out.
DK also got 25 with 40 strength talent and a full Mjolnir finished up on top. That GPM talent really starting to kick in. That 150.
And there is the nullifier for Slark.
Okay. Nullifier Silver Edge. He's not that tanky.
It is a bit of a different build, really, from some of the other Slarks that we've seen in this tournament.
He is not very tanky at all, actually. Only 2,000 health, 24 armor.
And no, as you say, no sort of raw stats from something like a Skadi, no sort of evasion, butterfly.
I thought the Skadi might have been the next choice after the Silver Edge, but okay. Nullifier.
I mean, as we did, he does have his team has got a lot of stuff that can keep Sylar alive.
Yeah, and if he's able to stop one of these big cores from getting the BKB off, it could be quite massive in the fights. Right? If he just gets that on the top of the Weaver, when that Aegis isn't there, of course, then they can easily look to bring down Mugi. If they can control him before that time lapse, of course. How many 25s do we have? 1, 2, 3, just the 3. So we see that last strike as well, taking the Edict explosions, the one we usually see for the most part.
CCC. Always jumped on Yak, goes in straight away. The pot dropped the golem down to the Messi. CCC popped the BKB. KP immediately looking to go in on the back lines. He's trying to go towards Freeze. Freeze is going to be able to use himself up. KP now having to back away with the BKB, but he gets slowed down by the Warwick punch. Ice Shard blocking down, trying to stop Newbee from being able to chase for more, but they're able to walk their way around, catch out Fade. The rest of Thunder get themselves back up to the high ground.
They're still... Newbee's cores are much tankier, it does seem like now, after all this has come to play, after the Leshrac dive and all these several kills have added up. And the Doom there was blocked by Lincoln's.
It was. What did he go? He went straight for... And to be fair to him, he had literally only just picked up the Lincoln Sphere Freeze. That was a brand new Lincoln Sphere. But still, Newbee biting back, and I believe there was at least sort of an 8k lead at one point for Thunder, but that's now
10k.
10k.
10k gold
slipping
lead,
away.
7,500 experience, and it's now getting pretty close to Newbee favored. These GPM talents, these Devours, all starting to add up. I'm just looking to see if Faith, whenever Faith gets that 180 GPM talent, that's when he'll start getting some item, something. Because look at this, it's just a tranquil iron branch. At least he's got the value branch.
He's a little poor.
Just a bit. I mean, he's bought, I don't know, a lot of sentries this game though, because he's playing versus that Slark. So they've been trying to keep tabs on that one.
Lotus or picked up by Kaka. Okay.
He had the Hex queued up, and then I guess he decided to change it up. Seems like they're just trying to tank up and survive through that Stampede, throughout the Golem, and just, that's the way they want to seem to deal with the Slark. Deal with, tank up, wait till that BKB wears down, and then just be able to try to turn the tides onto him. Even a Satanic next queued up for SCCC, and Mugi as well. Both of them just, it seems like that's what they want to do. Just tank up, wait for the BKBs to go down, wait for Stampede to end, and then they're pretty strong in the fights.
Oh, there we go. Quick scout. Pop the ult. We'll confirm that Thunder is towards the mid. Newbee will open up with a quick push down bottom, and if anything, may be able to force back They push very quickly.
Newbee pushes fast, but you always have to be careful of the Diabolic Edict.
Sure, oh
It
yeah,
also
sure, with
pushes
25, yeah.
insanely fast.
But they're being careful, and Freeze will now TP back to deal with the pushed in wave.
There's an elimination game, so we'll see those type of careful plays coming out. Newbee positioned all on the high ground here. Pretty much, yeah, I mean, SCCC does have the full Satanic if he wants to purchase it.
Yeah, that is the question at this point. As being without buyback could be disastrous.
KP has actually found the... He was using a Centaur creep for the most part this game. Now he's got the Linken's Breaker. He's got the Ensnare to break through those Linkens through those BKBs, which is going to be crucial in the next fights if he's able to find those situations. The DD spawns top.
Oh, Sylar though. He is heading forward. It's hard though. They know that Newbee's up on the high ground.
Who's going to spot that DD? Could be a game changer as well.
Now, Sylar or Moogie get that. It doesn't look like either side will spot it for now. Sylar.
And scan right on top of all of VG Thunder from Newbee. Freeze making sure he's trying to keep this bottom wave pushed out, mid also pushed, so they do have a feeling that Newbee's all positioned in a very defensive stance, not really making any big moves just yet. Another Zeus ult to scout it out. And Kaka is the one who's now pushing out that top wave for Newbee and getting close to level 25. And that 170 arc lightning damage is pretty ridiculous. How much damage? It's like 310. Comes out. Pretty much each one of these arc lightnings is a lightning bolt in a way.
And we have finally found a home for the double damage ring. Sylar will pick it up.
It is spotted. Newbee does see them there.
Kaka trying to poke at them from the low ground.
Almost the Hex can be purchased on the Leshrac. However, the item slots are a bit lacking for Freeze right now. Probably will be able to get rid of that Yule Scepter though.
And the cute move there for SCC. He's got the Satanic complete, passes off the cheese to the Doom. Talking about the Doom KP. He's gone straight in. He's going to move in immediately, but the BKB does manage to get the Doom down onto Lesh, but the BKB was already out. Lesh will start to back off the Static Storm, controlling this Tusk. In fact, there's no escape for him, and in fact, Sylar's got to run out of this. He pops the Shadow Dance, tries to pounce out. They manage to poke the Linkers. They've got the Infernal Blade hit on him. There's the slow as the right clicks coming from the Weaver. Sylar pounces up again, and but the right click, the crit, it's there. Moogie finds the kill, double kill for Moogie. They'll get Yang as well. Triple kill for Moogie on the Weaver.
I think Yang ported top and showed himself, and you just see instantly Newbee jumped into the high ground at no fear when they know the Centaur is not there.
And again, I've got sort of these plays from Faith, instant sort of Static Storm reactions to anything that he sees. He's just toying with them as well. He finds DDC. DDC will go for the TP out. The landing point won't quite be able to reach him, so DDC lucky to get away with his life. Freeze has actually come back in, looks towards Faith, will kill off Faith. Freeze is a little deep on his own.
Can he get the bootstrap out? Kaka spots him.
He's not getting away.
Nope.
Because look who's back for revenge. Faith buying back to get the glimpse, to cancel the TP. I don't know what Freeze was doing there looking for that disrupt to kill that.
That was...
There's three of his team dead.
Super deep.
What was he doing?
I'm not sure. I mean, Faith doesn't care about that either. Faith's buyback is 200 gold.
Exactly.
Whatever as a 5.
I mean,
and now Newbee go high ground, 8k gold lead.
For all the sort of brilliance Freeze has had in this game as a whole, he has made a couple of questionable plays.
I totally agree.
And now, the base in trouble. Yang will have to buy back as well. Can they force out the Slarks? Can they force out Sylar? Doesn't look like they can. 15 seconds and he'll be back, but still, that's freezing Yang having to buy back for that defense.
And we saw in that fight too, as they popped the Stampede, sure, but they don't have their Pipe and their Crimson Guard to negate a lot of that damage. And you see how squishy this Slark is. The 2,000 HP and only 24 armor. The Weaver just ate him alive in it. They were not able to keep Sylar alive.
Well, so we do have the butterfly queued up for Sylar, but that's not really going to solve.
That's not going to solve the issue.
He's still got 2k HP. Yeah, he's got 2k HP.
And how can he? Like, how does he bring somebody down now? He has to have pretty high essence shift stacks in order to really kill one of these cores of Newbee.
Oh yeah.
Now Kaka gets himself an Arcane Rune on the Zeus and almost has queued up a Refresher Shard. This is looking like a core Zeus.
A refresher all, if we want to be pedantic.
Sorry.
Come on.
It's late. You know what I meant.
It's not late.
You know what I meant.
Oh, is it midnight?
It's midnight.
Past my bedtime. Oh, Newbee again on the scout. With the ult. Around this Roche pit again, the ever important part of the map. There we'll start to see that Faith Disruptor with some well-earned gold, as I would say, with the glimpses and static storms that he's been pulling out.
He's got level 20 now, too.
And he's got it.
So
he's got that GPM.
There we go. They give him the Tome of Knowledge as well, just like last game. A Moonshard now for SCCC in his inventory. So the damage even higher now for this Dragon Knight. How do they burst this guy down, actually? 4,300 HP with the Satanic.
Oh, they don't?
They need to get the Spirit Vessel on him after the BKB somehow. And, yeah, try. But it's going to be really difficult. Their damage now on VG Thunder seems extremely limited versus how Newbee has itemized.
You know, you sort of hate to go back and point out to one point, but that mid play,
that dive,
that failed push,
they
really
lost so
sort
much.
of they started to fall apart from Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
And Newbee have made the most of that.
Quick sequence of events really starts that up. Now they make their way in the pit, and they kill this Roche incredibly fast. This is a refresher shard as well on this Roche. They're gonna have 2 dooms if they want.
CCC swallows the moon shard to celebrate, picks up some cheese as well for pudding.
Who are they gonna give it to? Are they gonna give it to Kaka or KP? It seems like nobody picked it up. They want to look for a fight right away. Unable to find it though. Who's SCCC gonna pass it to? It will of course be the Doom. Who also
What's he got?
can buy a Hex.
He can indeed. KP can go full in if he wants to.
The game is completely turned in a very, very sad manner for Thunder. Now it's seeming like it's almost out of control for them. They don't really have the damage to be able to take the fights. They've itemized very defensively to try to protect themselves besides the Slark, and the Slark is really getting punished for it. Can't kill anyone in those fights, can't kill those cores. So Freeze does have the Hex instead of that. You also replaced.
Fade is on the hunt. Reaction there. CCC gets the BKB out as well. He stands his ground. Stampede will be popped as Thunder look to reset. They back off. KP goes in. There's the Golem drop down onto the 2 of them now, as well with the Hex onto KP. He'll get taken away from them. They've lost one, but in response, they've lost the Warlock. On the back of it, they're having to back away as the BKBs from Thunder are wearing off. SCCC jumps forward aggressively with the Elder Dragon form, punching into Freeze. Snowball from Fade will stop him from finishing off Freeze, as Freeze can now retreat. But to the side of it all, Sylar looks towards Faith, but again, the kinetic field, Faith just baits and plays around with him. As Sylar to fall, KP jumping in towards the base, the tier 3s, the Argon is on towards the racks, the Doom, the right clicks from SCCC just doing work against Yang. A Snowball will come out, but it's going to be an icy grave surely for these two as the Doom still prevails onto Yang. Yang will fall. And now into the base they go. No buyback available on Yang. No buyback available either for DDC is now the push coming into play. They'll clean up the middle lane of Rax Newbee. Top lane as well, Fade. They know where he is, but they're going to ignore him. They're just going for structures. They're going for objectives as Newbee getting closer and closer to keep themselves in the competition. Hex will come through. Did get the Lotus Orb on time, so they will proc the Lincolns of Freeze. BKB out once again from Sylar. The shards down, but they've lost the touch. Fade fights back. He's trying to commit for this fight, but it's ever so scary. He's down. Sylar's gone for 2 minutes. Freeze down as well. SCCC with a triple kill as GG is called. Thunder are out of the competition, and Newbee will continue their journey here in the lower bracket of the Dota 2 Supermajor.
SCCC did 10,000 damage in that fight around the Ancients as that Dragon Knight with the Mjolnir and just being able to stand his ground, getting that BKB off. Yeah, I mean, the fight looked a little bit awkward too. KP got caught. He actually did not throw the Doom out, popped the Refresher Shard in order to try to get his BKB, got nullified, didn't get the Doom off, had to buy back to try to get into the fight. So it was a bit awkward for him for a moment, but that's what we started realizing. This Weaver, this Dragon Knight, these frontline heroes just able to do so much damage and make space for Kaka to just sit in the backline and be a Zeus, as we saw in the last time. I'm going to look at this damage. Let's take
it was a strange game because it really felt for sort of the first half, Thunder had the plan. They had this Slark getting out of control. But then, I mean, I don't know how much you feel you can sort of maybe question the item build of Sylar. Did you not really like what he did on the slot?
I think it hurt him because he was very squishy in the later stages of the game. I don't think the Nullifier really paid off too much. The Silver Edge also didn't seem to do a crazy amount. He did 19,000 damage in the game, but, I mean, Kaka did 54,000 damage as this was staying in the backlines over and over again. And the 2 cores, the Dragon Knight Weaver, were able to do it. I mean, Moogie Weaver, we mentioned at the beginning. We're not crazy about Weaver, but Moogie.
No,
it's one of those.
Very hopeful to really see for Newbee. A team there's a lot of high hopes, and we know this team can perform at an incredible level. They sort of had a bit of a rough time recently, but they're picking it back up here in this lower bracket. They're bringing out some really cool stuff. 17-3-17 Moogie on the Weaver that game, as I say, as they will take the series 2-0, knocking Thunder out, moving on in the competition. And that's it from me and Fogged as we pass you back to the panel.
Thanks very much, Odie Pixel Fog, for the final commentary of the night. And a 2-0 win for Newbee as well. They advance on and they guarantee themselves a top 8 spot, putting all the critics to bed as far as the form of Newbee is concerned as we enter the last major of the season. Unfortunately, it's also the end of the road for VGJ Thunder. They're going to have to hope other people don't do the things they need to do right now to make sure they complete their 8th position in the DPC. Let's get the thoughts of our panel with Nahaz, Black, and Gods once more. Alan, it's that's a good win because it looked a bit shaky there for a moment for Newbee, didn't it?
It sure did, and putting all the critics to bed, that sounds pretty good to me. I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah, no, you're done. You can leave whenever you want.
Moogie, 17 kills, 17 assists in on 34 of the 37 Newbee team kills. He was all over the map from fairly early on in the game, extremely active on his Weaver, and I think that Weaver pick, we all questioned it, but it was tremendous for Newbee.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point, Gods, isn't it? Sometimes it doesn't look like the right fit, or it might not feel like the right part of the draft, and just sometimes it works because of the player playing the hero.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Moogie was only like 1 and 2, you were saying, Alan, in the last 3 months. Historically, he's been very good on this hero and is very comfortable on Weaver, so it is a hero that he excels on. I love it when Moogie gets involved with Newbee. I think it's a key ingredient for their success, and that's exactly what happened here.
Yeah, fantastic performance.
And SCCC, by the way, not to be outdone, 741 gold per minute he finishes on that Dragon Knight. That is top 10 all time.
We've had some crazy results
it's amazing
today.
the last
some of these
days.
Performances. We've had one of the best Mirana performances of all time. We've had one of the best Zeus performances of all time, and now this as well. It's been incredible.
I'm telling you, this is what you get with a longer tournament where there's this amount of money on the line, and this is the ultimate test gearing up for TI.
Yep. I also want to break up with Black, the Zeus from Kaka as well. Lots of damage as a support Zeus. It's such a great hero for that.
It's just the 3rd Zeus pick we saw today, I believe.
Yeah,
and 3 times.
It's just owned.
Yeah.
I mean,
and every single game it dealt the most damage out of the team. Did you do this time?
Most damage in the game, once again.
And it just seems to be an incredible pick if you just last pick it.
It seems like a pseudo Skywrath replacement, but it offers a lot more than a Skywrath in some ways. Some areas it's weaker, but the scouting, the ultimate, every time it's off cooldown, it just felt like Kaka would throw his ultimate. Yeah. Maybe half the time it's not really doing much, but it's always giving vision and revealing where the enemy are.
I think it really like 2 or 3 smokes this game.
Yeah,
it was very good usage of the ult. Every time they smoked something, poof.
Yeah. Parker and I, we were talking about this the other day, about the Skywrath Zeus contrast. That the Skywrath offers you better kill combo potential once he hits level 6, but the Zeus, as the game goes on, that constant vision that he provides, the dewarding potential as well, I think more than offsets it.
Independently, he's just like way stronger later in the game.
He's greedier. Like he takes more. He needs a lot more farm, a lot more items. But when he comes online, he's really good. And what we've seen today between these 2 teams and the previous best of 3 is these long games, 56-minute games. Support Zeus. That's a great hero to have on your side.
But just Zeus in general, though, right? If you ever want to go high ground against Zeus, it's so hard. He has his Etherlands. He stands at like the tier 4s and chucks spells at you. It's just you need a hero that can jump him. You need Storm. You need Ember. You need.
They picked Centaur, Tusk, and Slark. I don't know if we get much better jump than that. It's the crazy thing.
No, it's like more like instant jump, right? Because once the Zeus ults, you actually can't blink at him. You need someone with an ability to actually get at him. Well, like Anti-Mage, Storm, something like that. Just jump in his face and kill him.
And
otherwise
you talk
can't
about
push.
the prevalence of these tanky cores, right? Like your Centaurs, that percentage-based damage from Zeus passive. Just choose through those heroes.
MVP, is there only one winner here?
Moogie for me.
Moogie, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're on board.
Yeah, Moogie on the Weaver. Gets the MVP for this one. Fantastic performance by him. Overall, 17 kills and 3 deaths.
Yeah, look at that.
41k
that kill participation is not normal for a Weaver.
Not normal at all. No. Fantastic performance by Moogie to finish things off and helps take his team through to the top 8 as well. Just a quick word for VGJ Thunder before we wrap up on this series as well. That's the end of the road for them, Gods. And that's kind of worrying now because Optic are looking good. TNC have also got in there. The good news, I suppose, for them is that one of those teams is falling in the next round.
Yeah. So they're going to have to put their faith in the hands of the teams they're going up against. But I mean, that sounds like a tough spot to be in where you're trusting the other teams, but you're trusting teams who beat you. So
true.
Yeah.
It's a small compromise. And also, those teams are going to have to go through one of those top 4 teams that'll drop down. So you know they've got to beat one of LGD, VP, Secret, or Liquid. So
potentially even 2.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, or more if it's TNC as well. So let's bring you up to date with those brackets actually and show them right now because we've had our 4 series from today, earlier on today, a long time ago now it seems. The North American Civil War was completed with Optic Gaming taking both Bloods in that one. They won that one 2-0. They looked like they were going to have another North American Civil War, but it wasn't to be as TNC came storming back after being 1 down to VGJ Storm and claimed their place in round 3 of the lower bracket. And then this evening we've had a very long game, one of the longest games in the DPC series so far, and certainly the second longest individual game of the season, with Mineski going down in 3 to VG Gaming. They will now play Newbee after a 2-0 win over VGJ Thunder. So that's where we'll start tomorrow, of course. We've got those matches tomorrow at the top of your screen. Team Liquid versus Team Secret in the upper bracket semi-final, followed by Virtus Pro versus LGD. The 2 top teams who have dodged each other for the last 3 majors finally have to play each other in the semi-finals. Can't wait to see that one. And then we'll be back, or rather I'll be back hosting the panel in the afternoon and the evening with Optic versus TNC, the battle for the last surviving challenger to VGJ Thunder's position in 8th in the DPC rankings. And finally, we'll end with VG Gaming versus Newbee. Can't wait.
Unreal.
4 more great series to come as well. It's been another long day, but a great day, Black, and just so many highlights. I mean, Alan's been pulling out stats all over the place and hero win rates and Christ knows what else, and we've seen pretty much everything you could do, including a denied ages. I mean, just to top it off, rapiers and comebacks and mega creeps and a denied ages. Just to, complete the full house.
We spoke about like the average game time.
Yeah.
And today blew that out of the window.
Oh my
I think it's gone up. I think it's gone up. Has it gone up? I think it's gone up a little bit.
Yeah.
You can see deeper in the tournaments, a lot more tension, a lot more at stake, and the teams are feeling it. Even teams who secure a TI, this is a big tournament for all of them.
Yeah, they definitely all want to win it. Thank you very much, gents. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying with us all day. I know it's been another very long day. We hope you've enjoyed all 4 best of 3 series. They've given us a bit of everything today. Can't wait to see how the 4 series play out tomorrow. Remember, the semi-finals are first up from the upper bracket with the best 4 teams in the world going head-to-head, including that juicy tie of LGD versus Virtus Pro. And we're not done after that because we dip into the lower bracket where Optic and TNC will fight it out once more to continue on being the last bastions of hope of breaking in to the top 8 positions. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for day number 6.
Get the alpha, be the alpha.
The battle begins.
Rampage.
Dire victory.
With the Strafe Esports app, follow your favorite teams and players, and you'll never miss a match again. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.